Welcome back to the Moxie movement. The thing that is unique for you and I in building a business is that most business owners have a degree of responsibility for the humans that they lead in their business. The difference with you and I is that we have humans that are reliant on us for their survival, first and foremost, when they're babies, and then for their thriving lives. We are responsible for the physical, the mental, the emotional, the energetic, and the financial well-being of our entire family before we start on building our business. That makes what you and I do different to someone who doesn't have that. People that aren't parenting and aren't being a partner as well as building their business will never understand the expectations that you're putting on yourself as a parent and a partner. They will try. They really will. They will desperately want to understand what you're going through if they're your friend, but they're not a mum, or if they're your friend, but they don't have a business, if they're your friend, but they're not in a long-term relationship. They will desperately want to understand. Truthfully, it's incredibly hard to understand someone's reality when we're not living it. We can be sympathetic to it, but we're unlikely to get it. And that's okay. As mums in business, you've got to find your people. You've got to find other women that have the same desires as you and the same environment as you. We desire to build a successful business and be great parents and be great partners. Those are our desires. And the environment that we're operating in is that we have some smaller and not so small humans that are influenced by how we show up at home. We feel responsible for their well-being. We feel responsible for our partner's well-being often. We feel responsible for the home's well-being. That's the environment we're operating in. We take all of that and we slide it into our business and do the same things with our teams. And then wonder why we're exhausted. I learned very early on is that there is no such thing as a self-made man or woman. They don't exist. Anyone that's out there telling you that they did it all on their own is lying or lacks self-awareness in a big way, because there is not a person on this planet that I have ever met that has not had support. For a long time, I thought that if I asked for support, that meant I was weak or broken. I grew up to be a strong, independent woman. My dad and my mum told me I could be anything, do anything I wanted to do. I grew up on a big farm. We had 2,500 acres, and Dad got asked a lot. Did he not wish he had boys, given he had such a big farm? Because I'm the eldest of 4 girls. People still had that perception 40-ish years ago that boys had to do the physical labor. And Dad was always really clear that my girls can do it. They're just going to have to think about it differently, or they're going to have to get stronger. But my girls can do everything your boys can do. And in many cases, they're going to do it better. So I grew up in a world that was really empowering like that. We would figure it out. If it took 2 of us to drench the sheep, the 2 of us would do it. If it took 2 of us to fill the pen when we were sharing, then we would do it. We'd figure out another way. We thought about it and we came up with different answers to questions. We came up with different solutions to problems that other people would come up because we had to think about it differently. That stood me in really good stead when I got to running businesses, because really what it all is a whole series of questions with thousands and thousands of answers. And our job is to sift and sort through that stuff and figure out which is the best answer, which will get us closer to where we're trying to go. What I also learned was that we were a team. And somewhere along the line, I forgot about that and started being the strong, independent woman that couldn't ask for help and saw getting support as a weakness. Our ability to ask for support and then receive support graciously is a sign that we're ready to go to the next level. Anyone that tells you that they made it where they made it in their business with no help from anyone either has forgotten a lot is lying or lacks the self-awareness to recognize how much support and help they were given. That might even be as simple as they had a home life that was helping them out with the household. One of the biggest pieces of resistance I get from my clients, women that I chat with on a regular basis that are in business, is around outsourcing the stuff at home. I think because most of the people that are out there talking about what they're doing don't talk about what has to happen behind them support-wise in order for them to be successful. Every now and then you'll see a guy in business that'll write a lovely post about their partner or their wife or the mother of their children and how they do everything at home so they're free to build their business. But it's sporadic at best. When actually, as mums in business, you and I have to think about this every day, because without even thinking about it, we do a lot before we start our day. The resistance I get is we can't afford it. We can't pay someone else to help in the house. My business isn't making enough money to justify paying for a cleaner at home. But your husband goes to work, your partner goes to work, and he has a housekeeper, he has a cleaner, he's just getting it for free. And the cost of that is your business success. If you're okay with that, cool. I'm not okay with that. So we don't do it like that. You don't need to have cash to outsource. You've got all the resources you need. As a mum in business, the resources already exist in your household. If your kids can use a device, they can use a dishwasher. If you're still doing everything at home because you can't afford it, it's not a money issue. It's a cop-out. What I see is women telling themselves over and over again that support is a luxury. Household support at home is a luxury. When I hit this sales goals, this profit goal, this number of clients, this many years in business, then I will justify giving myself some support at home by getting a cleaner. You're overfunctioning at home out of guilt because there's a big long list of things you should do as a mum, as a wife, as a person who is the responsible for the home. Those beliefs are so outdated. Like, how did we get to this place where kids didn't need to help? And I get it. There is so much judgment out there when you ask your children to do things, which really surprised me because I grew up in a world where chores were just a thing. You didn't get paid to do them. They were just part of life. And I thought that's what everyone's houses were like. And when I talk to my mums, they're like, oh yeah, I grew up in a house where we had to do chores. I'm like, so why are your kids not? Why, weirdly, have we gone, we did chores and we're okay, and now we're going to not make our kids do chores and make our lives harder? Why would we do that? I think it's got something to do with a great mum will do all these things around the house and be emotionally regulated and teach our kids about their feelings and have an income, because we don't have single income households anymore. They all need to be double to support the lifestyle that we want to live. Well, that's nuts. There has been research done that says that kids that do chores are more successful in life. And having employed a lot of young people, I can tell you that that is 100% true. Pre the pandemic, we employed a lot of international travelers, a lot of backpackers, first time away from home. And some of these kids have got to literally the other side of the world, all the way from Europe or all the way from America. And then are applying for a job to work on our cruise boat. On our boat, everyone pitches in. Everybody does everything. The cooking, the cleaning, the guiding, the maintenance. We all do everything. The number of young people that had left home somehow got through an airport at home. An airport here in New Zealand, got all the way to the top of the country in the Bay of Islands, but could not make a bed or clean a toilet, was phenomenal. I don't know where we got mixed up in that we should do everything for our children to give them the life that we didn't have because we had to do chores. It's not serving them. When they get to the workplace, when they leave home and they have to function in a shared house as a flatmate, they are going to be the people nobody wants to live with. Given the way housing prices are, they're definitely going to need to share a house. If you can give your child a phone or an iPad or a tablet and they can use it to watch YouTube Kids or play a game, trust me, they can help. They can use your dishwasher, they can use your washing machine, and they can help you at home. Are they going to require some coaching and some support? Yes. Will it make your life infinitely better now and infinitely better in the future? Yes, absolutely. Your I can't afford it has become a shield. It is shielding you from having to have the hard conversations with your kids, the hard conversations with your partner. You're just using it as an excuse to say, I'll just stay stuck. It's okay that I do everything in the house for free while other people get to leave the house and go to work, and then point the finger at the business and saying that's what's making me overwhelmed, when I've just managed everything in the house. All of the wakes in the night, all of the sick days, all of the school holidays, all of the tantrums, all of the teenage drama. I can't afford it is your excuse. And it's keeping you so stuck in your business because that's not fun time with your kids. That's not present, playful time with your partner when you're cooking and cleaning for them. It's not playful parenting when you're doing the washing for your kids. Your kids need quality time with you. Your partner needs quality time with you. And if you're grumpy because you've done everything for everyone, that's not okay. And if you say, oh, but my kids help, or my partner helps, it's not enough. If you can list off the things that they do, then you're probably still doing the majority of it because their things can be counted on one hand. The irony here is that you doing everything for everyone at home, and newsflash, if you're doing it at home, you're probably doing it in your business too, is that it's the most expensive decision you can make financially. A cleaner is phenomenally cheaper. The laundromat is phenomenally cheaper than you at your best. You giving your energy, frying your brain for decision-making powers on household chores and making sure everyone's got what they need to go everywhere is literally draining your business success day by day, week by week. No one's going to thank you for it. They just expect it and discount it. We had a great session recently inside the MBA. A friend of mine, Clay Moffat, come in and run a session both for the women, for the mums in business, and for their partners. It showed how our two sets of beliefs banged up against each other. How as women we feel like we need to be constantly on and doing something. We need to be working to be worthy. Bumps up against their want to help, but they're not doing it the same way we are. So we interfere with the way that they'll parent or the way that they'll clean or the way that they'll cook. Support starts to be seen as a luxury. We start to see it as, well, we have to do it all because no one will do it my way. And even though I ask, nobody does it for me. We have to flip that. Support, whether it be at home, in your parenting, or in your business, is not a luxury. Support is the groundwork. It's the foundation for the next level success. You need to know that you can ask for help and receive it. It will be given by either your team at home or your team in your business, because if you are not in that place where you're happy to ask for and receive support, you can't go to the next level. In fact, if you're not open to asking for help and receiving help, not only will you stay stuck, you'll probably eventually slide backwards. Because like I said at the start, there's no such thing as a self-made man or woman. It doesn't exist. Everyone that you put up on a pedestal as successful got there with support, got there with an entire squad of people that were helping them to achieve their goals, to get to their vision, both in life and in business. They'll all tell you that. And like I say, anyone that says otherwise just lies, is very forgetful, or lacks self-awareness. When you recognize that you need to ask for help and receive it, you know you're ready for the next level. You know you're ready for the next level of success in your business and, let's be truthful, in your life as well. When you're a supported woman, you can build a freaking empire, a legacy, something that matters not just for right now, but for years and years into the future, for you, your family, your team, your customers and clients. An unsupported woman just builds resentment, bitterness. Your support at home isn't a bonus. It's the baseline for success in every part of your life. Want to be a successful parent? Your kids have to support you at home. Want to be a successful partner? Your partner has to support you at home. Want to be successful at business? You have to have support in your business. Your nervous system will never let your business to where you want it to be if it is constantly on high alert at home for all the things that can go wrong. If you are constantly being the household manager, we're never going to the next level. Your family's a team. We all live in this house. We all make the work here, so we should all do the work. You don't want to raise the future roommate that people are like, this dude is messy. This gal is messy. She leaves her half-finished cereal bowl wherever she finished with it. I mean, who wants to raise that adult? I had those flatmates. And you were like, dude, who taught you it was okay to clean your rugby boots in the sink when we're going to do the dishes? Like, no. Who taught you that it was okay to leave half-finished plates of food all over the living room? There's no mum here to clean up after you. You have to do it yourself. If you've shared houses, you've probably lived with one of these people. Don't raise those people. You do not want to be the parent that raises that guy or gal at all. I had a friend recently who was here for quite a while, I think 4 months, and they said it was so funny. We took our kids to this all-inclusive resort. One of the older girls commented, they were like, this is amazing. It's so cool how everything's included, all the food, all the drinks, where we sleep. And in that moment, a light bulb went off over her head and she was like, kid, your whole damn life's all-inclusive. Your food and drinks and accommodation is always included. This is a break for me. And so it's really important to recognize that our kids' lives can very much become all-inclusive if we let them treat our home like a hotel. They are part of a team that creates workload in their house, whether that be laundry or dishes or dirt on the floor. Everyone creates it, and we have a saying around here that says if you create the work, you do the work. Your job as the leader, you are probably default leader at home. You got assigned that role thanks to social conditioning, to previous generations where women were expected to do it all. You are the captain. So your job is to start assigning roles, start assigning positions, because everything's going to fall apart if people don't know what they need to do to make this household successful. And I think the other barrier is that people think they need to do everything all at once. You don't need to start big. You just need to start. You don't need to start with the kids doing all the dishes and all the laundry and all the cleaning of the bathrooms and all the vacuuming. You just need to start with something small. It might be, if your kids are really little, that they unpack the dishwasher when it's clean because it's easy for them to put clean things away. If they're a bit bigger, it might be suitable for them to stack the dishwasher or do the dishes. It might be that they hang out the washing, or they put their clean washing away, or they learn how to fold it. It could be outsourcing the laundry. Send it to a local laundromat. There's so many cool services around that do it. It could be a cleaner that comes in and does the bathrooms or cleans the oven, like the jobs that we really don't want to do but know they need doing. It could be school pickup swap. You could talk to the gal down the road and say, hey, if I pick your kids up on Monday and Tuesday, will you pick my kids up on Wednesday and Thursday? Gives you an extra hour at the end of your day. It's about little shifts. And those small shifts will give you back big energy. Waiting to be rich enough, waiting for your business to be profitable enough to get help is backwards. Ass about face. Home support is how you create the wealth, how you get rich. You use your home support to create capacity, your clarity. And ultimately, when you have capacity and you have clarity, you'll create the cash flow in your business. There's no chicken and the egg conversation here. If you have more space, more time, more energy, you will make more money. The simplest and easiest way to do that is to get the whole team helping at home. Get rid of the belief that you're failing if you need help. Get rid of the belief that you feel like you're failing because you're tired and exhausted all the time. If you are doing everything for everyone, you should be tired. It's exhausting. And the only person that's keeping you stuck there is you. You're not a robot. The exact opposite is true. You're not failing if you need help. In fact, you're succeeding if you need help. If you need more capacity to get better results, that's a sign that you're succeeding, that you're growing. Being guilty about needing support, it doesn't make you less of a mum for getting help. You know the old saying, it takes a village? It really freaking takes a village. And that hasn't changed just because it's 2025. We still need a village. It's just there's every chance you'll have to pay either with a swap of energy or pay someone money or ask your kids to step up and help. If everybody does all the hard work, the stuff that nobody wants to do, if we split it with everyone, it's going to make you a more present mum, not a bad one. You've got one job as a parent, and that's to raise a functioning human being. Human beings have to care for themselves. And so the earlier you start them cooking, cleaning, doing laundry, organizing things at home, the better job you are doing as a parent. If you keep saying, when I make more money, then I'll hire help, you're doing it backwards. Hiring help makes the money possible. Broke people spend way too much time trying to save money. Rich people spend money to save time because they know which is the commodity they're never getting back. There's no more time. There's always a way to make more money. The people that live in your house are the resources that you have. If you have children that can use a device, they can help with the housework. They can use a vacuum cleaner, a dishwasher, a washing machine. Start small. Give them one task, get them doing that regularly and make that theirs, and then go to the next. As they get older, give them more and more to do. Don't make it in exchange for money. Make it part of being part of the household. Partners, there is no question that they could be helping more. If you've got extended family living with you, have a conversation with them. Start small. Give everybody one task. This is not about perfection. This is about progress. Just get started. Get something off your plate and then we'll refine it later. Because there's 3 steps, this is why I get really, really cross when people tell me they can't afford it. The first step is delegate to the people that already live there. Your kids, your partner, if you've got families or friends that share your household with you, those people need to be doing stuff around the house. We have a tool inside the Moxie movement called the Second Shift Sharer. It breaks down the physical doing tasks and the mental load so you can see exactly what's going on. We'll pop that in the show notes for you if you want to grab a copy of it so that we can see who's doing what and we can share it more equitably across the household. Start there. Who's in this house? Who can help out? I remember working with one woman and she had like 15, 19 and 24-year-olds and a husband, and she was doing all their laundry. And in the first week inside the program, the first thing she did was give them back all their laundry and go, hey, here's how you do it. It gave her back so much time. Gave her back like 7 hours a week. It was ridiculous. And they're more than capable of doing it. So that's what she did. The second level is to trade time or resources in your community. Who else do you know who might want to swap pick up and drop off with you? Who else do you know who might be keen to swap some bulk cooked meals? I know mums in business who have had friends who are also mums in business. And they're like, I'm going to cook Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and you cook Thursday, Friday, Saturday, but we bulk cook it. We cook double spaghetti bolognese on Monday. And so both households have spaghetti bolognese one day that week. The next person does a double batch so that it can be split amongst the two households. There are so many ways that you can swap time and resources with other people that will help you out. And this is an incredible way to lower the load for you. It doesn't mean that every day will be free, but it does mean that you will start to find some more capacity. Lastly, we're going to hire some people, and we're going to hire for peace, not perfection. Hire the things that are easiest and cheapest for you to hire first. It might be the laundromat. It might be a cleaner. It might be the gardens. It might be putting the kids on the bus to and from school. Hire for peace, not perfection. Just get it done. Don't get it perfect. Everything we do in the Moxie movement is about lightening your load lightening, do less, and make more money. And this one here is all about lightening the load. So the first one is do a household audit. We call it the second shift. That came out of a psychologist in the 1970s. She was talking about the extra work that women did when they got home from their newly found jobs. We do the second shift, and we have a look at what are all the ways, what are all the physical tasks, and what are all the thinking tasks that have to be done to run this household, and who's doing them all, and what is the one thing this week that someone else could be doing, and we start to shift it. Write down everything that you're touching. Use post-it notes, use a pen, use the notes app on your phone. Write down everything you touch in a week, everything, so that you've got a complete list of all the thoughts that you have, all the things that you do, all the decisions you make, and all the actions that you take every week. And then you're going to pick one task to delegate to someone else this week. It could be dishes, it could be washing, it could be school runs, but just pick one task that someone else is going to start helping with. And it doesn't matter how small it is, just hand it off this week. No more wishing or hoping or dreaming that someone will help. Write a script. Have the conversation with the people. From now on, your job is doing the dishes after dinner. You're capable, and I'm done micromanaging. If you want to stack the dishwasher like a raccoon on instead of a Swedish architect, go for your life. And just let them do it. So long as the outcome is there, you're not going to niggle about how it got done. So long as the clothes aren't pink, we're not going to niggle about how the washing was washed and hung out. We are just going to let them do it their way, because they are capable of doing it and they are learning. You've got to script it, you've got to tell them, and then you've got to hold your boundary and don't step in. You can't be the maid and the nanny and the chef and the CEO. If you're a woman that's got a vision for her business and her life, you need scaffolding to create that. You need support to make that happen. And if you don't start building that scaffolding now, it will never exist. You don't need to be more organized. You need to stop doing everybody else's job. This is your permission slip to stop carrying the whole household on your shoulders. Start sharing the load, or it will keep stealing your business's success. And if you'd like our help, down in the show notes is the link to our second shift sharer that tells you exactly how we do this inside the Moxie movement. Share the load, get the business success. Till next time, stay Moxie.